Today we're going to make a pinch pot. Start by forming your clay into a ball. I do this by wedging it between my hands, rotating it, constantly picking it up and rotating the clay around is the best way to kind of smooth things out without getting flats. I feel for those flat spots as I'm moving it around in my hands. I'm kind of pressing some of the larger areas down just to make that into as much of a ball as I can, or a sphere. I just kind of flattened a little spot out here to kind of get me started. Now put your thumb or your finger into the clay in the center. Try to make it as even as you can around the outside. Give you a good starting point. It's also as thick around the sides as it is at the bottom. Next, I'm going to gently rotate the clay around, pressing from the bottom up. So you can see I'm pressing between my thumb and my fingertips at the very base of this bowl. Always keeping in mind the thickness. I want that thickness to be about the same as my outside edges, my walls. It's tricky, but you'll get it. Next, I just keep rotating out, starting at the base of the bowl, working my way up. As I rotate it, I'm pressing the clay between my thumb and my fingers. You can see the base hasn't really changed its shape. It's still that same shape, but the outsides are kind of coming out a little bit. They're getting taller too. This should happen. You should also try to make sure that your one side isn't taller than the other. So I'm constantly just playing with the clay. Next, I'm going to kind of press down on the inside at the base to just kind of flatten out the bottom a little bit. You can see it's a little bit wider now at the bottom. It's just clay, so you can move it around, you can do whatever you want. You can always fix things too. Again, I'm just kind of smoothing things out. I'm feeling it between my finger and my thumbs, just to make sure everything feels about the same thickness throughout the entire piece. Now I'm just kind of smoothing things out, smoothing out some of the cracks that may have occurred. I'm going to go around the top. You can kind of go around loosely at first, but then once you kind of get the shape the way you want, go ahead and hold your thumb and your finger in place and then smooth out the top. You can be a little more hands-on, put a little more pressure on the clay if you're reinforcing it with your left hand while you smooth it out with your right finger. See how I'm just kind of making it as even as I can. Now this one's sturdy enough I can flip it over and kind of look and see how it looks on the back, on the bottom. Smooth out some cracks. At this point you're pretty much done, and it's just a matter of shaping it and getting what you want for yourself. You don't want to press too hard. You don't want it to stick to whatever surface you're working on. Mine was a little stuck there. Okay, next you just need to put it on a piece of wood or a plate or a paper plate or something, and we're just going to let it dry. After this, we'll glaze it.